Good feelings this week. I mean, did you dream that this would one day happen for you, that you'd be fighting in London, the O2, such a prominent place on the card?
Yeah, I knew this was going to happen, lad. Knew this was coming. I've envisioned all this, lad. I can't wait to get my hand raised on Saturday, and when there's pandemonium in the crowd, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, and this week, I mean, do you feel that attention? Can you feel your star power growing more and more? I mean, even just outside of this week, everything that's been going on since the debut?
Yeah. Well, as I say, I've just took everything in my stride. I knew all this was coming in my future. It's only going to get bigger and better, lad, and it's going to continue to do so.
Yeah, we had Kazula in here earlier, and he had some not so nice things to say. He said you're overrated, a lot of holes in your game. I mean, do you take any of this stuff seriously at this point, or do you think every opponent going forward is going to have something like this to say?
Every opponent's going to say something like that. He's got to try and make himself feel good about something, innit? Because he knows I'm better than him wherever the fight goes. Doesn't matter if we're wrestling, we're doing jiu-jitsu, or we're striking. I'm better than him wherever the fight goes. All he's got in this fight is a puncher's chance. So mentally for him, he needs to say, oh, he's not good at this and he's not good at that, because he knows I'm going to punch his head in.
Yeah, and as your star power gets bigger, you're going to have more critics, right, more haters, and maybe someone will say this week, they see what happened yesterday with you and Ilya, and they'll say, is Paddy focused on the fight? Is his priorities in the right place? What would you say in response to that?
Who's that? Oh, hand sanitizer boy? Is that who you mean? Oh, yeah, that's his name from now on, lad. Don't refer to him as his name, lad. His name's hand sanitizer, because it got bounced off his head. But I don't concern myself with none of that, lad. He wanted to come at me and try and act hard, and he got put in his place, lad. I was stood there on my own, and there was about 6 of them, and he done nothing. If he wanted to do something, he would have come round the table and tried to have a fight with me, but he didn't. He stood on the other side of the table because he knows what's good for him.
Were you surprised in the moment that happened? Like, did it take you a second to realize what was going on and maybe get your guard up a little bit in terms of realizing where you were and how many people were around?
Like, as soon as he come out of them double doors, lad, he snarled me. You know what I mean? So I looked at him and said, what? And then he walked towards me and I said, what's happening, lad? And then as he got close to me, he like swiped a slap at me. You know what I mean? And obviously, lad, if you raise your hand to me, I'm going to do something. So I wasn't punching him because I'm not breaking my hand and not being able to fight and earn me money on the weekend. So I stepped back and picked the hand sanitizer up and bounced it off his head. And then he swung a dig, what I moved out of the way of with a bit of ease. He's just got a little bit of small man syndrome, lad. You know what I mean? He's only 5'7", isn't he? So just try to leave the little men to it.
Is that something that goes through your head in the moment? Like, hey, I have to do whatever I have to get myself in this situation, but I can't do something that could compromise the fight.
Yeah, I can't let something like that happen, lad. I can't start throwing punches and get cut off the card or break my hand hitting someone. You know what I mean? Especially someone so meaningless. You know what I mean? Who even is he? Seriously, who is Mr. Hand Sanitizer? Like, he's a no one. He used my name for followers and to gain some publicity. And he put a video up and made himself look like a right tool.
So fair to say, even if he wins in spectacular fashion, you're not interested in that fight?
He's not going to win, though. I know full well. I know Jai. I know Jai's going to knock him out and send him crawling back down to the featherweight division.
So if you win your fight the way you're hoping, what do you feel this leads to?
Whatever I want. I don't need to call anyone out or mention anyone's name because everyone talks about me. That's how this works.
Thanks, Paddy.
A lot of people see you, right, say from the US, they think you've just popped up overnight. But you have this whole career beforehand. Like, you popped up in 2014. You were very well known in Liverpool and in European MMA in general. And there was a point, like, as strong as your belief is now, in 2016, I believe it was, maybe 2017, around the Soren back fight, when we didn't know if this moment would ever happen. We didn't know if your future actually involved fighting. Do you ever think about those moments and how far you've actually come since then and what you've had to fight through to get to this moment?
Yeah, I do think back at them moments to realise, like, what I've actually come through to get here. A lot of people think, oh, it's just a fight, and it's mad, lad. Some people who've only watched UFC think I'm a striker. I'm far from it. But I've been fighting since I was 16 and fighting professional since I was 17. You know what I mean? I became a world champion on Cage Warriors at the age of 21 when I wasn't taking nothing seriously. I was still out partying 2 nights a weekend, having 2 hours sleep and then going to the gym on a Monday morning. Back then I was just a fighter, where now I'm an athlete. And
I think a lot of people who watched you coming up were a bit, disappointed there was no crowd for the old debut, and now we're going to have a packed out O2, and we're gonna obviously hear the famous entry. Like, I mean, how much time do you have to put into preparing for that rather than the fight itself? Because it's a big moment.
It's a big moment, but that's just me. That's me when I walk in the gym every morning. A song comes on, I just rap every lyric to every song or dance to a dance tune. You know what I mean? I can't help it. That's just the way I am. That's just me. And that's why I always say it annoys me when MMA fighters put on these acts and try and be like WWE wrestlers. Like, this, be real, be who you are. That's what I do, and everyone loves me for it. And if they don't, they hate me. But they still saying it on and want to watch me, don't?
I just want to ask you, from the current team at the moment, if you could pick a five-a-side team, who would go in your five-a-side team?
Five-a-side team, yeah. Go on then. Got to be obviously Allison, Van Dijk. Allison, Van Dijk. Phil Bab. Allison, Van Dijk, Fabinho, Salah and Luis Diaz, because he's an absolute phenomenon. That man has turned up and absolutely ripped the Premier League apart already. He's going to be some player, him, lad.
Good luck on Saturday.
We don't need luck here, lad. Don't worry about that.
They're about helping people with mental health, and that's something that means a lot to you. Do you feel like your platform enables you to be able to do things like that? Yeah,
it does. Without my platform, I can't help people. You know what I mean? I always say that people with a platform like me should help people. It's nice to be nice. We've got this platform for a reason. Use it for good. Don't use it for horrible reasons. And that's why all these websites, social media websites, they need to sort the guidelines out, the community guidelines, because, as I say, I've had my account disabled at 920,000 people, like followers, and that messes with all the GoFundMe pages I help for sick kids and for charities, homeless organisations and stuff. It messes with all the mental health charities that I help with, and all the people who have mental health issues that speak to me on a daily basis. The amount of messages I've had of people saying, "Oh, without you messaging me back, Paddy, I don't think I'd still be here." And like, I have the burden on my shoulders now, thinking, "What? I can't message them back today. Are they still gonna be here?" And if they're not, it's Instagram's fault, because I'd still be speaking to them every day, but I can't. And then obviously they're messing with my livelihood. I'm losing out on thousands and thousands of pounds. It's just one of them things, though, innit? They can do what they want. Mark Zuckerberg's the biggest bully on the planet.
To follow up on that, because we saw that you had your Instagram deleted basically for clapping back at some of the bullies. Have you ever heard back from anyone at Meta or Instagram or Facebook, whatever they're calling themselves these days, about that incident?
No, lad, they don't give a fuck. They message you back saying, "Oh, you've had your account up for bullying and harassment. You've had so many violations." Well, show me all the violations then. I want to see every violation. Bet you every violation is defending myself. And if you look at it with context, then every one of them I have a reason to do it. Like, I don't just go out my way to say stuff about people. I don't need to. Like, if someone, like, on my page, the last few times I've had like reports and violations, it's been when I took a young lad to the match and people started commenting about his appearance. The lad had never been to a football match before, and his dad had just died, so I wanted to do something nice for him. So people started commenting disgusting things about him. So I had back and forth with them. And then the last one was for little baby Lee, who you're going to see on Friday, because I'm bringing him out to the weigh-in with me. He's got brain tumour, cancer, he's got all sorts of things wrong with him. And he's 3 years old, he's got no hair because of all the chemotherapy. And some absolute disgusting piece of shit commented something horrible about him. And I've got morals, and the next day my account was disabled. It's the hypocritical nature of Instagram and Facebook is just disgusting.
Come on, look at this.
That'll wait for you. Anyone else want one?